with the ECF, doing a new review today for you of a mod I recently acquired. It's the REO Grand, one of the more popular mods out there right now on the ECF. And well, bottom feeder mods in general are really taking off right now. It's difficult to get any of them, the Phidias, the Elite, either the REO Grand or the Mini. There's a new guy out on the block called the Monkey Box, and it looks like availability for him is a little better. So if you're interested in getting started in a bottom feeding mod, he might be worth taking a look at. The Monkey Box is another wood type mod like the Elite and the Phidias. So if you're into the wood mods, you might want to check him out because you might not have to wait so long. But arguably the most in-demand mod right now are the REO mods. Again, this is the Grand. The Grand has a 6 milliliter juice bottle inside, works on 18 650 bats, and I'm right around a 3 mil a day guy. So that bottle and that battery, that is 2 solid days of hassle-free vaping for me. And it's because of that hassle-free factor that I really have developed a love for the bottom feeders. I've got a Phidias. I've added this to my collection. Want to eventually add a Mini. Want to eventually add an Elite. Because they're great pieces of equipment. It takes very little effort to get one of these up and running. And like I said, 2 days, hassle-free. You stick this guy in your pocket. The only other thing you really need to worry about carrying around, you might want to stick a spare Addy in your pocket just in case the Addy is. Otherwise, you don't have anything to worry about. I do have to say, though, the REO Grand was built up on the forums as pretty much, the best thing ever. And there are some things about it that, well, they just weren't quite what I expected. For example, I had been told that you get amazing flavor out of this thing. Give me a second. And I have to say, I'm a little disappointed because I don't really get great flavor out of this. You know what I get? I get 5-star, 5-course French restaurant in New York City out of this thing. That's what I get. It's amazing flavor. I was also told pretty solid vapor production out of this thing. And again, I was a little disappointed. You know why? I expected some solid vapor production. You know what I get out of this thing? I get freaking clouds of vapor. That's what I get out of this thing. And again, another thing I was a little disappointed in, throat hit. Was told to expect a pretty substantial throat hit, and I gotta say, I was a little disappointed because you know what? I don't really get that substantial a throat hit. It's more like getting kicked in the throat by a kickboxer. That's what it's like. This thing is an all-around performer. It's a champ, okay? It's extremely well built and durable. That I expected. But again, a little disappointed? Not really. It's not durable. It's a freaking tank. This thing, you could probably run it over with your car. It ain't going anywhere. Unlike a wood mod, and I don't want to knock the wood mods because I love them too, but if I drop this sucker, I know I can pick it back up and keep right on going, and there's 2 reasons for that. 1, it's an extremely durable aluminum, and 2, it's a completely mechanical mod. See that? Look in there. You know what you see? No wires. That's what you see. You see no wires. If there's one thing that separates this mod from my Phidias, it's the fact that it's 100% mechanical. Because there's really nothing to foul up. If you've had some of the earlier Phidias models that didn't have a catch cup, God forbid you ever overfill that atomizer, the extra juice is running back down inside the cabinet of your Phidias. Long-term exposure of nicotine juice to the glue and the wires? I don't know. I can't imagine it's good for the glue or the wires. Don't have to worry about that with this guy. There are no wires. So, a lot to be said for that point. A couple other features I want to go over real quick. Obviously, you've got a nice bottle window there. Very easy to find. Very easy to squeeze. You can do it on the fly. You can do it before you vape. You just give it a light squeeze. And don't know if you can see when I do this. I'm giving it a little squeeze. You may see some juice come down into the catch cup. Basically what I do, since I'm using a 306 and I can see my Addy, I will squeeze it until I just start to see a little juice bubble right up here at the top of the Addy. And that's when I stop. I'm not waiting to fill up the catch cup. I have actually a couple times had that catch cup pretty full. And you've got to inhale so very light when you have that much juice in this catch cup so that you don't get juice in your mouth. It would be the one drawback I've found. And now part of the problem, probably, I use a lot of 70% PG, a little bit of 80% PG. It's fairly thin juice. there is a reducer tube that comes with your kit that you can put up in here in the bottle. A reducer tube reduces the diameter inside the bottle so that you're not drawing quite as much juice. I haven't actually messed with that yet, and I probably should. I think that's going to solve my problem. The biggest advantage, and I mentioned this briefly, you look inside there, there's no juice. There's nothing. It doesn't leak. If you actually do manage to overfill your Addy, if you flood your Addy, it's going into the catch cup, it's staying in the catch cup, and it'll eventually draw up into the atomizer as you continue to puff. So, huge advantage. Another nice thing about the catch cup, I know a lot of people don't really want to vape the same flavor all day for 2 straight days. Hey, you don't really have to if you don't want. Go ahead and get the juice out of the atomizer that you got in there. Take whatever juice you want to change flavors to. Put a couple drops right in that catch cup and keep on vaping. You get your flavor change, but you don't even have to mess with changing the bottle. A couple other things. You get 2 of the 6 milliliter bottle, or 6 ml bottles. Keep one loaded and in the Phidias. I keep the other one. Basically, when I kill one, I'm going to take it and clean it right away. I'm going to load up the other one, put it back in here, and keep right on going. The whole thing takes no time at all. A little warm water, maybe if you're really into a little warm soapy water, is about all you need to clean out those bottles. It's not particularly hard. I'm not crazy loading up my plastic bottles with alcohol. First of all, I don't think alcohol is very good for plastic. Going to get some of that plastic to leach. Not a good thing. So warm soapy water is all I really feel I need. Rinse that bottle out. Let it dry. By the time I need it again 2 days later, it's dried out and ready to go. So you've got 2 bottles to keep in rotation. You've got a very unique switch. I try and show you this switch. If you look here, you can see there's a little notch. Push it and go. You can hear it firing. Now, a little quarter twist locks it out. Won't press, won't fire, pocket and purse friendly. Now, the one drawback to this that I have found, and when I do a review, I really don't want to be glowingly positive about every single thing, because nothing's perfect. And if you look hard enough, you'll find a flaw. Well, I had to dig. I really had to dig to find a flaw in this sucker. Okay, take a look at this button. You can see right below my fingertip, there's a little bead, and then there's a little channel over here. When you turn this, that bead is now resting on the channel, and that's what's keeping it from firing. Pretty excellent design, except for one tiny little thing. And like I said, I was nitpicking to find this flaw. If you're not real careful, it's easy enough because this knob is very easy to turn. It's very, very easy to bump this knob just slightly. Have it a little off center. That bead is just catching that little beveled edge in there. You press, you don't fire even when you think you have it turned on. Let me tell you, if that's the biggest flaw I can find, then this sucker's pretty close to flawless. Don't mind my crazy dog over here. He's just having a good old time running around the house. Because, well, I'm talking to you guys and not to him, which makes him bored. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot else to say about this thing. I mean, if you want me to put a number on it, and I've used a few different PVs now. Got a lot of ego gear. I've got 2 different bottom feeders. I've gotten to play around with some other gear I don't own. On a scale of 1 to 10, like I said, it's not perfect. I don't give much of anything a 10. There's really no reason to not say this thing is every bit an 8.5 or 9 on a 10. On a 10-point scale, this is one fantastic mod. I was a little bit concerned about aluminum because, like I mentioned earlier, I love the look of the wood mods. But you know what? This thing is not only durable, it's beautiful. It is extremely well designed. The lines are just sick. It's sick. It's a good-looking unit, and it performs like a race car. I don't really know what else you need to say about it. I mean, check it out. It's REOS Mods, REOSmods.com. The website is really not being used for ordering right now. You've got to check the ordering thread on ECF, and that's going to be your best bet for catching one of these guys. The website, I understand he's going to get back to that sooner or later, but because of the amount of demand he's having right now, his website has crashed a couple times when he's been trying to handle the ordering through his website. Thus, you got to go to the REOS Mods order thread on ECF, and you can get her done that way. It's a bit of a hassle to order. It maybe, well, not maybe, it is the worst part of owning a REOS mod, is actually having to go through the process of getting one. Once you get one, you're going to be really happy you did. All right, that's all I got. Once again, this is Phorbin from the ECF. Thanks for watching.